what are some of the mistakes you've made in your business that didn't get you anywhere? Like in the beginning, what were some mistakes that you made that you were like, that didn't do any good?
This could be our whole life. But look, so I'll do like the top three, I want to say. One of the main things I know I started out doing was focusing so heavy on trying to follow everybody who had knowledge that I wanted to learn from. And it didn't help me because I was so busy following everybody and doing what everyone was saying, do that I had no idea what was working, what wasn't working, what I needed to do next. If I needed to pivot, if our audience even aligned, I just was so confused in my business because I was so busy trying to follow what everyone else was saying when I should have known they don't really know my business. And unless it's a strategy that we've created together for my business, it wasn't going to yield me any real results.
I've been there. Been there, done that. Yep. Really relate to that one. Yeah. It's like, and you can change it each week. It seems like it changes each week. This week, it's like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. And then next week, you're shifting into something else. And that, yeah, like you said, that never works.
Never was thought at all.
Okay.
So the next one was that I was confused on content pillars. Like before I really got heavy into social media management and learning social media, I was like, oh, what is a content pillar like? Oh, they're the educate, prank, promote, those kind of content pillars. And I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't make sense. It wasn't until I was like, what do these have to do with my core offer? If I'm making you laugh, does that really relate to my business? So then I came up with this little corny way I say it, and I'm going to fill it on the live. I haven't really told many people except for who I do one-on-one coaching with. So content pillars to me in a layman's tone is, you remember when you had to write a paper in school and you had to have like one topic and you had to come up with 3 topics to go about that one topic? That's how I broke down content pillars. So when I put it that way, it was like, I know what a content pillar is. It has to align with the main offer, like, duh. So once I put that together, it was like, okay, so when people say content pillars is brand awareness and consider, no, that's all a part of those things, but you still need that main topic to be about something that relies, that takes them back to your offer. So those are the 2 main things I was like, girl.
I love that. I love it. Because it's so true. That's what it is. It all ties back to your offer. Whatever your offer is, that's what the topics are that you're talking about. And that's the keywords and everything cascades down from there. That's awesome. I love that. Awesome. Do you have a third thing?
Let me see. The third thing would have to be over consuming and overbuying. I would buy and download tons of freebies, buy tons of courses, all that good stuff, thinking because I'm doing all these things, I'm invested in my business. We're gonna win. We're gonna succeed. And it was like, no, you were missing the main part of growing a business online or any business on or offline. Is no matter how much you invest into your business, if you're not implementing everything that you're learning, like actually taking the time out to create the strategy, take those steps, see, okay, I read this, it says do this, this, and this. Let me do this, and then let me try it for 16 to 90 days, and let me see where it gets me. I missed that whole, it was like, buy, because this is what investing looks like, and as long as I buy, I'm going to succeed. It was like, no, wrong. If you're not implementing what you've learned, girl, you're going to still be in the same situation, constantly buying from person after person after person. So those are my big 3s of what I had to learn.
I love that. Yeah, I did the same thing. All the freebies. I have a folder of freebies that's just like loaded down with stuff, and it doesn't help unless you take action. Like you said, a lot of those freebies can be very beneficial, but they're meant for you to take action, take small steps, and get a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer slowly. I mean, you can get there, slowly with freebies, but it's all about us taking action. But I was just like you. I was downloading them away.
Done hard. You never can have too many. I'll take yours too. Like, it's fun.
I'll read that next week.
But it's funny though, because like the present me, when I scroll through my emails and I'm deleting things, I'm like, why'd I even subscribe to this? Or why'd I even download this? Or why'd I even buy this? It's so generic, so surface, so basic. It was like, girl, like, no.
I totally resonate with that. Okay, next question. What struggles were you having? I mean, it probably kind of goes along with mistakes, but What struggles were you having before you and I came together and came up with a new plan?
Okay. So when I met you, we had already been built a relationship on social media. The backside people really don't know, and that your post did not tell the people was when I initially reached out to you, I reached out to Ginger because I was like, okay, I need help. I don't know what I need help on. I paid for coaching and things like that, and I'm not getting the results that I want. And I feel like I'm paying for things that I already know, which is kind of stupid. So I was like, okay, me and Ginger are friends. Let me just ask her and see what she says. So I sent her a DM. Mind you, it wasn't the first DM. We've been talking through DM. Tidbit: if you're gonna buy into somebody who don't mind DM you just a little bit every once in a while. But anyway, so when I sent Ginger the DM, I was like, hey, I need a coach because I'm stuck. I cannot grow. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm booking clients. The likes are there, the comments. I'm getting sales, but my page won't grow. So I was like, do you have somebody you can refer to me? And being the honest person that she is, she said, yes, I do have somebody, and it is this person. And then I said, okay, thank you. And she said, but also, if you're looking for this, here's what I offer. The next response, I was like, oh, this is dope. So I can go with this guy that I really don't know nothing about. I really don't know him, so I really don't trust him. Or I can go with somebody who is truly invested in the success of me, because we've had conversations throughout the years where I know that she wants to see me succeed. So we actually had this conversation. I was telling her my struggles were outside of mistakes, because mistakes are going to happen when you grow. A lot of my struggles were mindset struggles. It was, am I doing this right? To get out of my own way, those fears of how can I get my account to grow? What am I doing wrong? I need a fresh set of eyes. Like, I need somebody to talk to. It was a small struggle that people overlook is what I struggle with the most. And most of the times we hire coaches because we want to grow. But a lot of that stuff starts with your mindset. I don't care how many coaches you hire. If they're not helping you shift that mindset to where you can see that, okay, you do have what you need to have. And if you don't have it, let me help you get it. And that's what you brought to me. It was a true game changer for me, like, to be honest.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, I remember that. You were like, so you do what you just told me to go to this guy to do. I don't want to go do what?
Right. Are you like, no? You like,
That was so fun. Awesome. And what were you hoping to achieve when we started working together? What were you hoping to achieve out of your business?
I wanted to get more clarity. I never wanted to quit my job. Let's disclaimer that. I loved what I did. I enjoyed it. Like, most of what kids say about their career. I enjoy what I did. I've been doing it since 2007. So I really enjoyed what I was doing. But I wanted to gain clarity. I wanted to make sure that whatever I was putting out there for not only myself, but I could put out there for my clients, I can gain additional knowledge. I could shift my mindset from feeling like I don't know what I'm doing to actually having that confidence, like, you know what you're doing. I also wanted to learn how to structure things, how to word things. I wanted to get a deeper insight on content pillars and content strategies. I feel like you always can know something, but when you hear from somebody else, you gain so much more insight. Like, you never ever can have too much knowledge. So I wanted to make sure that I could suck up everything that you had, because mind you, I watched you grow from when you were like at 17,000 followers, you're hitting like 30, 40, 50, you're like almost at 100, just the brand. You're actually at 100K. And people say that doesn't matter, but when you're working so hard to grow your brain and you watch somebody constantly doing things to you grow, was like, I want that success. I want to see how I can use that success or that knowledge, more or less, to interpret that into my business. So I came to you with the mindset of teaching your ways.
Did I teach you my ways?
Yes, you definitely did. Yeah.
That is awesome. So what does business look like for you now? How are things going?
This is going a wonderful. Like, I was able to quit my job last year, which I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. But I quit my job. I have so much more clarity, even on moments where I'm like second guessing myself. I'll sometimes jump in her DM again and be like, girl, how does this look? She'd be like, yeah, it's fine. Or take this little bit out. So I've gained the insight and the confidence to know that, one, I'm not in this alone. I don't have to feel like I'm an entrepreneur by myself. I can build a support group. Two, I gain clarity on how I should run my business to where it aligns with my core offer, not anybody else's. It's all about me and my business. And then a lot of people don't know, like, now I was able to hire staff. So once I quit, it was like, okay, I quit after doing this for a year and a half. Now, 2 years later, I'm hiring staff. So my business outlook is beautiful, and I'm steadily growing. I'm steadily growing knowledge-wise as well as my business. So it's a beautiful feeling over here. I'm just living life through the entrepreneurship. Struggles and all, I'm living it.
I love it. I love it. I've seen your confidence just explode. It's been
Thank you.
awesome to watch that. Just, I
Thank you.
love it. I keep telling you, I keep sending you DM.
Yeah.
I love it. I love today. I love today's reel. Telling you what colors I like on you.
Right.
Yeah, our GMs are a mess. We're funny. Now, how are you making an impact? How are you helping your clients?
So it just depends on the client, depends on what impact means for them. All my clients are very successful. One of my main impacts I love with my clients is that clarity they get. The same thing when like you're a solopreneur and you're on social media and you're trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, what's going on. I give them the clarity of we're not doing that. This is why we're not doing it. It's not going to work for your brand. And they get it versus them just putting it out there, not knowing what they should or shouldn't be doing, or hiring somebody who says, put this, this, and this out there, and you don't have the slightest idea why. So one of the major impacts is education, which gives them clarity and which helps them boost their mindset and know that they're doing the right thing. The second thing is, it just depends on the client we're talking about. I've had clients make 1,500 in 15 minutes. I've had a client open up a second full salon suite in Atlanta, Georgia. I've had clients start on products. So it just depends on which client we're talking about. I've had a client featured on CBS News in New York. So my clients are thriving. They're doing a beautiful job. My main thing for me is to make sure they understand the difference from the vanity metric and really generating real revenue in their business overall.
I love that. I love that you're doing that. And that is why, this is another thing I didn't say in the post, that is why I refer a lot of people to you. If I talk to somebody who is, who doesn't, honestly, you know, they think they need a coach, but they honestly just don't have the time to do the social media part themselves. Like, I look at, you know, when they start asking me how much time do I need to invest in learning, I'm like, you need to invest some. So if that is not an option for you, it's not a bad thing. It's totally not a bad thing. But a social media manager is going to probably be a better fit. Let me talk to you about Alete, because I know she will let you know what needs to be done and to meet your goals. So that's another thing I didn't mention in that I wanted to mention today, because I love that I can trust and that I know how you are, and I can refer people to you anytime that I have that question. I'm like, I got a referral. Here you go. So as a social media manager, what does your day look like? Like, paint the picture of like what it takes to be a social media manager. What does your day look like?
Now you're trying to jump up all in my business. I got posts scheduled to talk about these topics, but we're going to talk about so. So the day-to-day life is very different depending on the day, depending on how you wake up and things like that. But one of the main things I try to do now when I get up is I always hit the gym. I hit the gym between 5:30 and 6 in the morning. It's a faithful thing that is also boosts my confidence. From the gym, I'll come home, get myself all freshened up. I may throw pajamas back and want to clothes, it just depending on how I'm feeling. And from that point, I go through a checklist on how I'm going to operate throughout the day. So to go from making sure all the client stuff is posted. Then from that point, I'll check in with my community. Like, do you need anything? Everything going good? That includes my interns as well as my clients, just to make sure we're all on the same page. If I need something, they have incentive. I do all that communication at that point. And then from that point, I'll go ahead and make sure everything for tomorrow is set up. And then I plan out from the client's post on, I'll make sure that there's no hiccups. Everything still looks good, like when we left it. Also, I'll be prepared to assign duties and things that I start. One of the things that a lot of people don't talk about that I make sure that I do is I subscribe to and constantly try to stay up to date on the trends, what's going on and what's new. Now, I don't post it as often on my social media, but I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing a monthly update on what's going on in the industry so that people can actually know, like, because if you ain't get to the industry, you're not up there trying to figure out what's going to happen next, what's going on next when you don't care. So I want to make it easy to start posting that on my social media.
That's a great idea.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to start doing like a monthly update. Like, why not?
I love that. That's a great idea, because you're right. Your end clients, they're not looking at that. They don't necessarily care, but them knowing that you do, yeah, I love that. I love that. And then my last question, all about you again. How can people work with you? What are you accepting clients right now?
I'm only accepting 2 more clients for the rest of the year. As far as how you can work with me, I have finally came up with a package I feel like works for the people. It took a lot of hard work and dedication to figure this out. So I have 2 coaching sets. It's one of them is an intensive strategy call. We do 1 session to go over anything. It's almost like a pick my brain, but I'm also going to educate you in the pick my brain. We also have the overcoming obstacles, which is a 3-session strategy call. We get on the phone 3 times for 60 minutes and discuss how we can get your business from point A to point B on social media. And then I have my 2 social media packages. One is the Done With You, which I like to call Get Your Feet Wet. Stay with me now. When you go to the pool and you're like, is the water cold? Let me dip my toe in and see if I even want to jump in the pool. And that package is where I create all the content for you. I come up with the strategy and things of that for me and my team. And then you're responsible for posting. The thing with that is I still hold you accountable. Are you engaging? You have to sell who you're engaging with. So I got that whole plan worked out with my clients and it worked. The second part of that package is called All In. All In is for people who are like, girl, I don't care if it's cold or hot. I'm jumping in this water. For that, we handle your full account management, content creation, captures everything for you and your business. So you can just go live your lavish life.
I love that. I love that. So did you do that or do you like swimming? Is that like why you kind of did that, or was it just
I can't swim. Y'all don't tell nobody. I can't swim.
I love it. I love it.
Perfect because I feel like I'm heavy into educating myself. So I'm heavy into copyright and storytelling better. This I don't even tell, but I've been working on it. So I'm like, what visual can I give them? When you go to Love it just everybody can. I don't care who you are, where you're from. We all can relate to that cold pool or beach water. Do I really want to jump in or just dip my toe? So that's how I came with the packaging.
I love that. And then they can decide once they dip their toe, they can decide.
Exactly. All in. And that's how they'll dip their toe and be like, oh, I want to just jump all in. Like, okay.
I'm tired of Alete coming on to me about how much I need to engage.
Everybody, just don't take it. I'm like, not engaged today? No. But you're not engaging with me. Well, this is why. Like, so I love that package though, because a lot of business owners don't truly understand what all goes with being on social media. They all think it's a post and go or whatever. So that package truly allows me to educate them while I'm actually doing it for them and doing it with them. So it's kind of like, to me, it's the perfect starter for somebody who's like, I don't probably want to hire help, but I kind of like want to see what it's all about. I feel like it's the perfect gateway to bridge that gap.
Yeah. For some, it could be just a little bit of taken off of their plate to where they do have time to engage. And for others, like you said, they don't understand everything that goes into it. So this is a good introduction of, okay, I've done half the work and now you need to do the rest. It kind of, lets them see what all is involved in building a business on Instagram. It's not just posts and then you're done for the day.
No, not at all.
Well, awesome. That is all the questions that I had. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I'm going to ask you a question. If your show is, I know you're the host. Let me ask you a question. What made you come up with Empowered Empire? Like, what was your viewpoint of that?
The name or
the name and the course? Because I mean, it speaks for itself, but I want people to know like the genuine place it really came from.
So when I started on Instagram, I wanted to know all the things, and just like you, I was. Just like we talked about a little bit ago, I was downloading the freebies and I was consuming content and just filling my brain with all this stuff. But I constantly had this nagging feeling like these people are holding the secrets though. Like they're not giving everything. And then I even took a couple courses and I was like, I'm just not getting everything that I want out of this. I wanted to know not only marketing, but I wanted to know the Instagram strategy behind like what made this platform tick, what made this platform work, and how could I use it to work for my business. So I decided to come up with a program. When I started learning and started growing and started figuring it out, I was like, I'm going to teach other people, and I'm teaching them everything that I have learned, everything that I wanted to learn. It's going to come out and it's going to be in this program. I'm going to empower people. I'm going to empower women to run their business on Instagram confidently, knowing they know how to use the platform to the best of its ability to do it for them or to do it with them. So that's when I came up with Empowered Empire, was because I wanted that empowerment for women, to give them that sense of accomplishment and just the know-how. Because once you know things in the platform, it gets easier. Just like you with the aha moment with the content pillars. Once you get those aha moments, they stick, and you can just keep building on your knowledge from there. Next thing you know, you're understanding why people are seeing your content and why people aren't. You're understanding why people are engaging and why people aren't. You're understanding why you're selling and why you aren't. You like everything
starts to make sense, yo.
Everything starts to make sense one step at a time. And that's why I created it.
I love it. I mean, it's not my show, but I love it. And I'm so glad that you created it. I also want to let you guys know, a lot of coaches out here will create courses and they will never revise it. So that means you might be taking a course or buying an ebook that is hella outdated. What I love about yours is that you actually don't mind taking the time out to, okay, let me pull this back a little bit. Let me go to revise and add more information, so that you never run out of like, oh my God, this is so outdated, I'm about to fail. No, she sets you up for success by making sure that everything is current for the market today, in case you don't know.
That's all. Thank you. Yes, actually, it's going through a huge revision right now. It's which you still have access to. You have lifetime access to it. But if you wanted to ever go back in there, but I hired a course strategist to go through it page by page with me. We've been working on this since July, and so my next release will have those new updates in it. But it is totally like, because when you build a course, you build it as you go.
Yeah.
You build it, get questions and you put it in there, and you get another question, you put it in there. But the overall flow, even though all the data and all the information is in there, the overall flow could use some tweaking, could use some, some not scripting, but like a better flow. That's the best word that I have for it. Better flow for everything, to where it makes logical sense as you're going through it. And so that is what I've been working on since July, and all my free time, away from
time.
We know that there is no free time. We just make time.
Right.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for going on this live with me. I always love talking to you, and we'll be in DNS talking probably for the rest of the day.
Of course.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alete. I loved having you as a student. I love still supporting you whenever you have questions or need anything. You, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you, everybody, for joining and tuning in. And those on the replay, thank you so much. Drop your comments in the comment section.